Hello, everybody. This is Jackie Bible Story. This is Stories with Jackie. And the title of this is The Big Bad Wolf. The enemy came and blew your house down. So, this is a parable in Matthew 7:24. The wise and the foolish builders. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine, puts them into practice, is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew, and they beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had foundation on the rock of Jesus. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew, and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. Okay, brothers and sisters, it says everyone who hears Jesus' words of what to do and not what to do, basically, you make a choice. You either follow the narrow road or the wide road that leads you to sin. So you have to follow what is right. That person is a wise man, Jesus said, a wise man that built his house on a rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. But it did not fall, because its foundation is on the rock of Jesus. So trouble, the rain, turbulence, the streams, the wind rose. But the people that follow Jesus, Christians, and we stand, we know, yes, we shall have all sorts of trouble, winds, rain, just like everyone else, but we stand. We do not sink. We have wisdom, we have confidence, because Jesus gave us this. So we stand tall. Its foundation is on the rock of Jesus. Matthew 7:26 is the same parable, but everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. Have you ever, when you was little or been with your children, they built sand castles, the rain came, you had to run in, and it melted, it went away, because that was built on sand, and the water washed it away. Just like your sin, if you build your house on sin, eventually it's going to crash down to the ground, or you're going to crash down to the ground some kind of way. So if you hear these words, parables in Matthew, and really all the wisdom stories, two scriptures you hear them, but say, nah, that's okay, someone else could walk that road. They say, I'm getting ready to party. So you are building your house on sand. I'm not saying a decent party where there's no liquor, good food, no wild parties. Brothers and sisters, you know what that is. So if you built your house on sand, you already know it's going to fall once the rain or wind and turbulence comes. So let's go on. The foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew, beat against that house, and the whole house fell with a great crash. So partying, sinning, we know this kind of person will fall. So brothers and sisters, do not build your house like a foolish man and build your house on sand. It will crash down. You already know people that live like this. You may be thinking of them right now. You may know them. They're either in jail, they're dead, or they're in really bad shape, or they're dying. They lived on sand. Drugs, sin, stealing, and the big bad wolf huffed and puffed and blew their house down. And you know who the big bad wolf is? The enemy, the devil. They crashed, and there was a great crash. So these parables, Matthew 7:24, the wise and foolish builders. Be a wise builder. Put Jesus' words in practice. If you don't understand them, read the red scriptures, the red writing. The parables are for those who have eyes, ears to hear, and eyes to see. Don't be the foolish builder. Don't build your life on sand, because it will come to a great crash. Remember, if you're living on sand and you're the foolish builder, wake up now, my brothers and sisters. Put Jesus' wise words into practice. You don't want wind to come down and blow your house down and beat against that house and yourself and come against you with a great crash, because the devil, he will blow your house down. He's the big bad wolf. If you're not working with God, you are working against him. You're working on the other side, and you're working with the enemy, the devil. You see, when you take your parables apart, you can understand. You have eyes to see and ears to hear. You see, in Mark 4:11, remember this: the secret of the kingdom of God has been given to you, but to those outside, everything is said in parables, so that they may be ever seeing, but never perceiving, and ever hearing, but never understanding. Otherwise, they might turn and be forgiven. So they will be forgiven if you turn from your sin. In Mark 4:13, don't you understand this parable? How then will you understand any parable? You see, this was an easy one. You either build your house on a firm foundation, on Jesus the rock, or on sand, the devil. That's it. So this is not harsh. It is the truth. Either you are on God's side, stop sinning. You say, oh, I only steal a magazine from the store. You say, I only gossip about my neighbor. I did not murder anyone. Brothers and sisters, I'm not here saying I never gossiped or lied or anything. But now that I have the Bible, the scriptures, church stronger than ever, Bible study, I am scared of the Lord, the fear of the Lord. So, for the Proverbs of 9:10 occurs a dozen times in the book of Proverbs. This is not just respect, but it does not imply terror or panic about anything. The idea is one of humility, deep reverence, and submission to God. The belief that He is holy, which He is, and hates sin, and sooner or later punishes sin, which He does. We don't want to disappoint God. We want to please Him. Above all, we remember and consider that we have to give an account of ourselves before Him. So the fear of the Lord is not to be fearful, just love Him and obey Him. Who is on the Lord's side? Well, I am. Don't be on the devil's side. Sin allows him to do what he wants with your life. You give him permission. He sneaks in like a roaming lion, seeking who he can devour. If you remain on the Lord's side, not only will you be protected, but you are blessed. You feel peace in your heart, brothers and sisters, and there's nothing like peace in your heart. So I love you with all the love of Jesus. Also, stay prayed up, stay blessed up, read scriptures in the Bible, maybe one a day. Start to study them, and you'll be just like me. You'll be graduating every day more and more. So Jesus spoke a lot about how we shall live our lives, also how we shall not live our lives on shaky ground. So let me tell you something about faith. I show this every day. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but this is a mustard seed. And see this little mustard seed? This is the faith of a mustard seed. And if you have faith this little that God hears your prayers, He does hear your prayers. And you know, I got that Bible as a gift from someone, and I was reading the Bible, all of a sudden a mustard seed popped up. And I was like, what is this? I said, this is a mustard seed? So you mean I have faith like a mustard seed? Yes, I do. So you guys can do it too. And please stay on the Lord's side. Love Jesus. Please don't love the devil. Don't give in to sin. Because you know, if you do, he can sneak in. You gave him permission. You're sinning. He's like, there's a party there. They're sinning. Let me sneak in. And then your life really goes haywire. So I just started this ministry. It's a small ministry. But if you want to sow into the ministry, Cash App, $ JACKIEBIBLESTORY777. Cash App Jackiebiblestory777. And I love you guys very, very much. And have a beautiful evening. And love the Lord. And I love you. Bye-bye. Okay. I